What's up YouTube, Papa Snorlax here. This week at Locals I took second place with Turn A Dynames. It was a smaller group this week, so we only played 2 rounds, and both of my matches ended up being against Blue-White. My first match was against Blue-White Earth Federation. I could tell my opponent didn't have the strongest opening in hand, which gave me enough time to get my units on the field and start pushing shields early. By the time they were able to bring out their own units, I had already taken out most of their shields. From there, Turn A really started putting in work. With Unicorn in the trash, Turn A was able to gain suppression and push through their remaining shields and push for game. The second match was against Blue-White Unicorn Destroy mode, and this one was intense. I was able to get my opponent down to no shields, but that's when the table started to turn. They began trading it into my units and setting up multiple blockers, making it harder and harder for me to finish the game. At that point, I was desperately hoping to get Graham into the trash, because high maneuver would have won me the game, but I never saw it. Eventually, they were able to get Unicorn Destroy mode onto the board, clear out my turn A's, and close out the match. Overall, I'd say the deck ran pretty well. Honestly, I was surprised the second match went as well as it did, especially because my hand after the mulligan was not great. That being said, I still think the blue-white Turn A version felt a lot smoother and overall stronger than this green-white Turn A Dynames build. I won't be able to play at Locals this coming week, so this build I'll be playing the week after. But before we find out what I'm running next, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss future Gundam Roulettes, card reveals, deck profiles, and more Gundam DCG content. Now it's time for Gundam Roulette! Alright, looks like we're running red-white. Alright, so for my locals in 2 weeks, I'll be running red-white Turn A Fred. Starting off with our turn 2 units, we're running 4 Zaku Mariner and 4 Gelgu GQ as our early 2/2 drops. For turn 3, we have 4 Kapul to help sift through the deck and set up the trash, while also serving as a potential early link for Laron. Moving into turn 4, we're running 4 the Burst G-Fred as our early game beater. Then for the units we want to see in the trash, we're running 2 Grams Union Flag Custom for high maneuver and 2 Gundam Curios for first strike. These give Turn A more options once they hit the trash and help it become a much more flexible threat. For turn 5, we have our boy, Turn A Mario. And we're running him at 4 copies. This is really the main piece of the deck, allowing us to take advantage of all the keywords and effects we've been setting up in the trash, as well as our opponent's trash. At turn 6, we have 3 copies of the LR G-Fred to bring additional ping pressure to the board. Then to round out the units, we're running 3 copies of the level 8 G-Quux. This gives us suppression in the trash for turn A, while also acting as a late game boss unit if the game goes long. For pilots, we're running 4 Nian to link with our G-Fred and G-Quux, along with 4 Laron for our turn A and Kapuls. For commands, we're running 4 Overflowing Affection to help sift through the deck and get the cards we need into the trash for turn A. We're also running 4 Close Combat to help pick off enemy units that are becoming a problem while we continue to swing into shields. Finishing things out, we're running 4 Will Gem as our base. I've gotten this base healed all the way back up to 7 before, especially this past week, and it can become a really tough wall for opponents to get through, especially when I just need a turn or 2 to set up. So that's red-white Turn A Fred. I'll be playtesting this over the next 2 weeks before Locals, but I'll make sure to provide some content in between so you're not stuck waiting for the next Locals update. With that, I'm Papa Snorlax, and thanks for watching.